Hey, 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 it's Sarah Jane from Access Your True Nature, and today we're going to be talking about doubt, how to stop doubt, or more so in alignment with our 28-day active appreciation challenge, how to appreciate doubt so that you can say yes to desire. And I'm in my happy place, so there's no doubt in my mind. Oops, my tripod is about to fall over, but welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm with the horses and I love to come here. We're in this Taurus energy, which is really so deeply grounded into the earth. We have a double earth energy right now. Hi, Christina. So it's a beautiful time to really just ground into your desires and also celebrate your wins. So while we're waiting for everybody else to come on in, I will just ask you to celebrate one of your wins. Let me know how you are feeling into day 5 of this 28-day challenge, and what's been going on for you. And just to remember, standing here, and horses are prey animals, and we have that predator and the prey in us as human beings. Hi, Veronique. So we're all prey at some point in our lives, and a lot of the time the doubt comes up and actually stops us. So we just have to keep remembering that we're all doing the best. I have to show you these gorgeous horses while I'm talking to you. Oops, there goes the leg of my tripod again. Interesting. Don't know if you can see them, but yeah, so we're all doing our best, don't we? And we'll act out according to our nature, and doubt's gonna come up. Hi, Ricky. So nobody is immune of going into doubt. We'll go there. Hello. Hi, gorgeous. Hey, see, here's my beautiful chestnut. Anyway, so any of us can become prey at any time, and we need to be aware of our environment and look at how we can increase our chances of staying safe in this dimension by really sticking with a community of like-minded others. And we need to be discerning and just trust our animal instincts, and that's really our body. Our horses are our body. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the hearts. Post your comments below. Tag a friend. Get them on over here. Let's get this party of appreciation started. And just know, the beautiful thing about animals and horses is that they're not preservating over questions like, how do I avoid being prey, and who's going to eat me, and all the places that take us out of trust and into doubt, because they're not strategizing. They're not telling themselves stories in their head. And we talked about stories earlier in the week, but they're not telling themselves scary stories about all the other animals that they know who lost their lives to terrifying predators. They just stick together, and this is the value of tribe and why I love my tribe so much. Hi, Mandy. Hi, Kelly. Welcome, welcome. Post your gains for this week. Just let's honor and celebrate your wins this week. What's one thing that you can celebrate today in going through the last 5 days with me, and also just knowing that you're not alone, that you have a tribe here. And just like animals, how can we deepen into trust and get out of the doubt that we eat when we're hungry, we sleep when we can, just like these gorgeous horses. They mate when they have time, and they hunt when they need to, and they play a lot. So how can you really honor yourself in trusting when you also need to rest more? So the moral of the story is not that we are avoiding being prey, but to be aware of our natural instincts to eat and sleep and play and hang out with your trusted beloveds. And if there's a predator that saunters by, you simply say, "Hi, I see you," and you keep your distance, and they go back to eating and sleeping and mating and playing. So remember, you are what you love, not what loves you. And where are you in doubt today? So I want you to comment below and tag a friend, send me some love, send me some energy, because today I want you to really start appreciating healthy doubt, where your body is actually saying, like these horses, you know, what do we need to look out for? What do we need to be aware of, so that we can actually take active, appreciative energy, hi Pauline, and really step into our potency, just like these horses that are running around and playing and saying, come on, what are you doing? Stop talking, come play. I'm going to do a join up just now, and he kind of knows that. So I'm going to try and make this short, but I want to talk about crap, and I'm not talking about elimination from your bowels. I'm talking about all the shit that's happening in the world. But the acronym for crap for me are all the places where you're afraid or you're in doubt because you maybe don't want the criticism, or you're afraid of being abandoned and rejected, CR, abandoned, and P, the punishment, which often comes from your childhood, your pre-7-year-old that has made up her mind based on an experience that the only way to stay safe was maybe to put up with the crap. And if I'm a little distracted, I am, because I'm being aware of where I am. But I want you to stop doubting. Really stop doubting and start living into your gifts as the only way forward, in love and appreciation of being alive, and the active appreciation of where you're creating chaos in your life, crap in your life, so that you can increase your training and get out of the doubt and really start playing and pursuing your game. It's so funny. I'm here and I'm like moving. Hey, sweet babies, I'm coming. So I know many of you are empaths and you're sensitive to other people's energy, and this is often one of the places where we get very tongue-tied, or we don't know how to say what we need or ask for what we want, or even know what we want. So how often this is kind of this deadly recipe for getting abused, or attracting narcissistic relationships, or relationships where you go into codependency because you are so in the crap, you're in that approval trap, that you will give yourself up and you'll just be this magnet for all these energies that you don't want. And also, because you're sensitive, a lot of you are healers, a lot of you are visionaries and light workers, and because your vision and your mission and your purpose is very deeply rooted in that little child who never really had anybody stand up for her or tell her she was doing a great job, you ended up exhausting yourself and constantly find yourself in this repetitive cycle of fighting for the underdog. Okay, so think about that too, because there's a lot of time there's this doubt that you actually aren't enough, that you're not worthy of having what you want. And oftentimes this is rooted in this victim space of wanting pity or wanting people to give you attention or feel sorry for you. So I want you to stop using this as a negative tool, stop using this as a crutch, and start using it to be vulnerable and create conscious connection so that you can reach your dream and have people that are cheering you on to make that positive impact in the world as only you can. And here's the thing, if you're doubting your worth, if you're doubting that you have something worth sharing, if you're finding yourself stuck in that doubt, you're going to work and attract people that you actually don't want to work with or be with, because you don't like them. And this is the power of the work, that when you have this internal compass that's aligned with your authentic values and your integrity and your vision, hi Heather, then you no longer have to work with people that you don't like. And I you know, I do know that I have that tendency myself to want to work with people that I respect, because there is a part of the underdog in them that I recognize in myself, and I want to be that cheerleader. And I also have this tendency to work with people who lack self-confidence, because I know what it feels like to be worried and concerned about what's my next move going to be, what's going to happen if this person doesn't like me, what if it fails, what are they going to do, all the doubt fire stuff. And we make ourselves really, really crazy wrong about it, don't we? So I think that once you start building that into your DNA, it's not that it ever goes away, but you can certainly start to overcome it without going into the coping mechanisms that are actually against you rather than for you. And people are going to tell you that the most confident people in the world are normally hiding something. And that's okay. You know, it's just like, what if we could bring that up into the light? I mean, look at Robin Williams. He came into this world as one of the greatest comedians that ever lived, but there was so much hurt and so much sadness in himself. And you know, he knew what it was like to be depressed. He knew what it was like to feel sad, and he hid it underneath his comedy. That was his legacy, was making people laugh and making people happy, and letting people believe in the hope, in the trust, so that the doubt would fade away into the background. And those are just the stories, right, that we get stuck in. And then the contrast of things that we know is that there are people in the world that really truly believe, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that they are adding value in the world. And they are so right, because they do. And then the contrast of that is that there are other people that add no value. And maybe in this moment there's a little bit of doubt that you think that you don't have anything that's worth sharing, and you'd be very, very wrong, because every single person has some level of purpose, and you might not know what it is yet. But it's kind of like me telling you that I had to go through some terrible things to get to that moment where I knew that I could no longer not speak about how to resolve trauma naturally, and speak from my heart and share what I know about how to overcome anxiety and depression and unconscious commitments and trauma. That you're not supposed to be depressed all the time, but that there is a gift in the depression, and you have to go deep down into that so that you can rise up into your frequency, into your resonance, because you're no longer doubting, and you're aligned with what you came here to do. You're aligned with your heart and your soul. And if we're really honest with ourselves, I think the reason that we doubt so much is because we have been programmed to believe that we can't trust people. That predatory prey aspect of life. And the only way that we get to come back to our heart and trust people again is to trust ourselves and listen to your heart and listen to your body, instead of living in this head, which is just the rider on this beautiful horse of yours that is your body. And lean more into that, rather than you know, putting your energy out that causes the overwhelm and the doubt. That you come back to trust what you know. And you know, I love the way my parents used to do business, from a handshake that meant something. And these days, I know my business coaches have pulled their hair out with me because I don't like to do contracts, because I just think that the only reason you'd want somebody to do that is because you're already not trusting that the person's actually going to meet the deal and deliver. And therefore, if you sign this piece of paper, then I'm going to own your ass by you putting your name in a contract. So it's like, what if we could come back into that place of not doing things from distrust and doubt, and rather from the heart of trusting that the people that you attract are going to be in the resonance of you and meeting you there. So is this resonating with you? Give me some love, give me some hearts, tell me that this is resonating, so that we can come back to love and out of the doubt. I want to stop the self-doubt, absolutely. So hopefully I'm going to give you some value today. But I want you to just type, like Rika just did, somewhere where you are doubting yourself. So a situation or a specific thing that's going on right now, type it in the comments. And I'm going to just talk a little bit about integrity, because I see this word being bandied about in the transformational industry right now. And let's face it, life transformation is based on billions of dollars, based on this lie that you're not enough, that you're somehow intrinsically broken, and that you need fixing, which is a load of crap too, and a whole nother story for another day. But you know, if you go ahead and Google right now, Google integrity, and the definition that'll probably come up is that it is the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles, the state of being whole and undivided, which is pretty interesting, isn't it? Because in the energy of the word of integrity is trust. And the very fiber of where you are wanting to be right in your moral standards, your core values, your principles, that's actually where we're creating what I call separation sickness, where we're separating from the heart of trusting what we know. And I'd like us to stop doubting that, stop doubting what you know, and know that what's true for you doesn't necessarily have to be that truth for anybody else. True and truth are not the same thing. So what if we could stop doubting and come back to the heart, come back to loving whatever arises? How would that feel for you? Attracting right clients. Yeah. So where's the doubt in that, Christina? Where you don't have to go into blame or shame or making anybody wrong. And also, I think a very key point, and I know we've talked about this before, is when we're looking for our divine right clients, when there is an energetic resonance, when there is an alignment, when you're loving, you're doing the work because you have to do the work. It's just like, it's not up to you anymore. It's just like you are just this conduit or this channel for divine to work through you. Then you don't need to push, and you don't need to force, and you don't need to go out there and make your potential clients responsible for your money flows. And you know, I could talk about money all day long because it's one of the topics that we often give power over and doubt, and because we don't doubt our own value. Am I making sense? Give me some love, give me some hearts, tell me if this is making sense. I just want to see what Marika's saying here. I know. Oh, I have. Okay, and remember, if I don't answer your question on the live feed, I will go back and listen to it later on. I can't see this so well. Get those that can afford. Yeah, and that's, again, it's about looking at our mental mind, you know, our mindsets, and we have to shift from a place of internally looking at our value and seeing our intrinsic wealth in ourselves in order to attract the people that can see the value in your work and are willing to pay you for that, right? So if you're coming from a place of I can't afford, and I speak a lot about this, but you know, think about it like this, because that law of sufficiency, the law of reciprocating dimensionalities, is if I'm just buying free, you know, if I'm just listening to free webinars, and I'm just downloading free ebooks, and I'm listening to 1 million podcasts, but I'm not taking any action, and I'm too afraid, or I am doubting because of my past story or experience that I invested in something and I maybe didn't get what I expected. So the expectation of the experience is different to the energy of what it is that you actually need. That doesn't make sense. That people, if you're not investing in yourself, why would anybody else invest in you? So, you know, it really is the internal mindset, and the unconscious commitments where we have made vows of poverty, or we are so stuck in our story that we actually can't see beyond the you know, what's costing me to not actually invest in myself first. When you come from that space, that high vibrational resonance of whatever I put out is going to come back to me, then there is no doubt, because you absolutely believe it by what you are creating and what you're actually actioning in your life, you know. So money's a big one, and it's why I spend so much time, as those of you who've worked with me know, why it's so important to get to the root cause of when you decided that you were not worthy in the first place. Okay, so appreciate that right now. Appreciate the doubt that comes up, because it really is like depression or anxiety. It's your body singing like a canary in a coal mine, and you need to listen to it so that you can get back into resonance with those higher vibrational frequencies that are going to attract what you want rather than what you don't want. And remember too, you know, addiction is the addiction to the I can't afford, the addiction to where we're putting our attention to the things that we don't want rather than what we do want. It all originates from this place of trying to solve a problem. You know, how do I get out of debt? How do I have more money? It's always from a very low vibration of negativity, of this deep-seated belief that brings the doubt out that you can't actively participate in appreciating what you do have. And yeah, it's one of those that would take a little bit longer than just a bite of what is possible for you on this 28-day challenge. So what does integrity mean to you? Post it in comments, post it in the questions. You know, where are you seeing that in your beliefs, in your actions? Are they in alignment with each other, or is there some incongruence there? Because I kind of find when I start to focus more into bringing attention to the I can't afford, for example, rather than the energy of how can I, that's what needs my attention to bring me back into integrity with my true nature, with my heart, with my soul, with my spirit, with my body, with money, the energy of money. So where are you finding that you're a little bit out of integrity right now? So say for example, someone's been nasty to you or to someone that you love, or maybe you've overindulged on a food that your body doesn't really like bread and cheese or sugar, or maybe when you say yes to something that you really don't want to. And I'll do a whole training on boundaries pretty soon outside of the 28-day challenge, because I know that it's one of the most foundational anchors that you need in order to stay aligned and in congruence with what you want and stay out of doubting because of all the crap, right? The criticism, the rejection, all of that you'd rather avoid. So you let doubt creep in and take over, and then you're not in a mind of your own. So as you start to shine more light on those areas that are out of integrity, it's going to allow you to move through these blocks that are holding you back and bring yourself back to your heart, back into alignment, into lightness of being. Because that's the simplest, easiest, fastest way back to your North Star, is just to go and ask those questions. Is this heavy or is it light? And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go to my YouTube channel where I show you how to use your body as a pendulum, because your body never lies, and it will also always make you right if you don't listen. So just know there is no yes or no. I mean, there is no maybe. It's either yes or no. It either is or it isn't. So today I want you to appreciate actively every time doubt comes up. As an empath, you need to honor your sensitivity of where you're feeling unsure. And if you're in doubt, if you're confused, if you are in overwhelm, ask, what is the information that I require right now? What is the information that I need that's going to give me the awareness of how aware I need to be to move? You know, if there's a horse behind me, I'm going to move. It's a response rather than a reaction. And every cure for phobia is the exposure to the thing that you're doubting. So if you're doubting that you could sit in a room full of snakes because you have this terror of snakes, and they petrify you even though you've never actually really seen one in life, and you're doubting that you're safe, how do you change it? Well, inch by inch. You take that snake or a rubber snake first, and you leave it far away, and you remind your nervous system that you're safe. And this is very much the cellular repair work that I do in my work of reducing phobias and fears by not flooding the nervous system all at once, through incremental small 1-degree changes, which is exactly what we've been doing over the last 5 days, and that we'll continue to deepen into in the next 28 days. Because oftentimes we rush things, right? We try and push things and force things to happen, and we don't want to make choices and decisions when we're in fear. So if you're doubting what it takes to succeed, doubting whether the money's ever going to roll in, doubting whether it's okay for you to shine your light in the world or change the world, or maybe, you know, if you're doubting right now whether you have something important to say, or whether you even want to continue with this challenge or something that's coming up for you in your life, there's hesitation, there's doubt there, listen to it, appreciate it. that body of yours is the horse, right? It's the prey aspect that's looking for the predator. So listen to it and then look at, is this true? Look doubt in the face, appreciate it that it's there, and then don't go down the rabbit hole with it, right? Because your mind wants to go and gather evidence. We talked about this over the last few days when we were talking about identification to story, where we are out of control because we allow doubt and the thoughts and the feelings and the emotions and the stories to actually run your life, to take over your life from your pre-7-year-old. And your ego wants what your ego wants, and it wants to keep you safe. So maybe your doubt is, oh crap, what have I done? That we talked about yesterday, of maybe I should just go get a day job, or I'm never going to be successful, or nobody's ever going to hear me, or what's the point, or whatever it is. Because doubt's a very sneaky bugger, and it will take the wind out of your sails any opportunity that it can, because your subconscious mind is incredibly strong. Give me some love, give me some hearts, tell me that you're liking this or not. My ego wants to see that you are appreciating this. Give me some energy, and I'll give you some simple reminders. Thank you. So that you can start fast tracking and using your mind, employing your mind for your advantage. Because, you know, doubt is just resistance. Thank you. That's great. Yeah, that you're listening. So remember, your nervous system is always on hypervigilance when doubt comes in, because your mind's saying you're going to be criticized or rejected or abandoned or punished. Just know it's just a feeling, right? You are not the feeling, you're the one that feels. And here's the yes but or yes and. When you know doubt is a way that we self-sabotage and a way that we kill our dreams, just like procrastination is a killer of dreams. Why do you procrastinate? Because you doubt your worth. So you go into denial and you go into excuses and you keep yourself small. So doubt is always fueled by the ego. And it is going to get you to look for problems that aren't even there. So if you didn't listen to, I think it was yesterday's lesson on oh shit, now what have I done? Go back and listen to that, because this will probably make a whole lot more sense if you do. So just remember, doubt is an expression of the fear, false evidence appearing real, that you're never going to have enough, or you're never going to be enough. It's sending your nervous system into fight, flight, or freeze mode. Okay, so I know that you may be sitting there right now with me saying, yeah, but I am confident. But let's just have a little heart-to-heart with that part of false bravado, perhaps, without making it wrong. Because you can be super confident on one level, you could be a badass of magnitude and still feel like there's a dumpster of doubt that is just piling up on you, right? That pile of crap on your head in the understanding. And doubt is a way that we self-sabotage. It is a choice, but the yes and or the so is, imagine it like this. So you have two rivers, right? One is the river of belief, and the other is the river of doubt. And when you are in that stream of belief, you're magical and unstoppable, and you're inspired, and you're really grounded into your vision, and you're passionate about where you're going, and you're just in that realm of infinite possibility, because you can see where you're going, and you're able to take massive action toward making that vision into a reality, because you believe without a doubt that this is what you're here to do, right, on your pathway to purpose. And then you have this other stream, or this fork in the road, the river of doubt is that stream of crap. So it's blocked up, it's stagnant, nothing is flowing, and you then instantaneously, when you're in that, you can't flow. So you stop doing the things that you need to do in your business, in your relationships, in your life, with your money flows. You literally paralyze yourself, right? Because you've taken that position, and it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Because, I mean, how many of you can relate to that? Because you're so potent. Yeah, exactly. It's the ultimate lie, because you stop knowing your value, and you get smaller, and you start to you start to become as timid as a mouse, because you're not speaking to the integrity, the real nuts and bolts of what you want, of what your child or your partner or your client needs to know, because you want to be liked, right? You don't want to be abandoned. And that person's going to reflect that to you, right? They'll meet you there, and you will take that as evidence. Oh, there you go, you see, I told you. And you keep gathering evidence, and you keep going around in this pile of poo, and you never get anywhere. And doubt will make you quit. This is why 1% of people will do a training, or they'll go and get high on a 3-day event at some cultish thing and invest a whole lot of money in something. And then they go back to their lives and they never actually make it to the finish line. In fact, most people don't even begin, right? They don't have that active appreciation to keep moving, because doubt takes over, right? So energetically, you're always out of congruence, you're out of resonance, because even though in your mind you're saying, I'm going to do this, there's a part that you haven't accessed, or you've buried or hidden it because of some trauma that your nervous system is trying to protect you from bringing up again in those unconscious commitments pre-7-year-old. And that is the only way forward, is to go deep down and give that child's voice of doubt, of fear, of anxiety, as the mature, wise adult for that little girl, right, that is stuck in doubt. And you can't succeed if you're constantly living in doubt. You can't even hear your child. You can't even listen to your heartbeats when you're there. And this is why so many people make decisions based on fear rather than from faith. Because you will always go look for evidence of a problem, that there's a problem that you have to solve in order to be seen or validated or recognized. So, remember, there is never a problem until your mind goes out to create the doubt as the problem to keep you safe underneath all the crap. So how do you shift from doubt to belief? And you might want to take out a pen and pencil or come back and listen to this again. But just to keep it simple for today, let's just remind ourselves of a couple of ways that you can go toward desire and get to appreciate doubt as just the thing that you're not listening to anymore. And you could hashtag doubt or love warrior below. And if you want that PDF cheat sheet, all you have to do is hashtag Doubtbusters in the comments below, and I'll send it to you. So remember that your ego wants to be right. It wants what it wants, and it doesn't want you to thrive. It wants to keep you safe. So you might have heard this before, but I'll remind you again that the first space, okay, so step number 1 is just acknowledge and appreciate that you are feeling doubt, right? And just go, wow, there you are. Thank you for showing me this thing, because doubt is just another distraction. It's just another version of fear. Fear is a little bit more amplified energy of doubt, right? The doubt starts gently, and then, so it's sort of the step before the full-blown anxiety panic attack. It's kind of like the seed that starts before you're in full-blown fight, flight, freeze. But it's just alerting you to, there's something you need to pay attention here to. So just appreciate the doubt and look at, what do I need to see? What do I need to look at? What am I missing? And then tell that part that is in doubt, thank you. What do you need? Where do I need to be? What do I need to see? And then you can start shifting out of that anytime you want to, because you have identified it, you've named it, and you've given it some attention. And the thing is, there's no race here. You get it when you get it. So ownership, right? Owning and acknowledging that doubt is there in your story comes from a place of knowing that you are not the doubt. You are the one that is doubting, okay? You are not Mrs. Doubtfire. So if you're used to blaming anyone or anything for your doubt, this might be the time that you actually start taking a time to actually appreciate that it's all yours. And yes, and is a great place to get you moving into that stream of possibility and out of the stream of Mrs. Doubtfire. Okay, so you have to take deep responsibility and accountability that it's all yours. Okay, you made it up. And then move toward the light, because that's pretty heavy to stay there. And that's a choice too if you want to. And then the other way that you can do this is to just stop feeding it, right? Just push pause, stop. Just listen to your body. Feel it where you feel it in your body, and have a conversation with that part. Speak to that part and ask it, is this true? And this might take some major mindset shake-ups. In resilience, you might want to have a conversation with me. You might want to look at how we can get you aligned with desire and in integrity with what you came here to be, that your wise woman knows where your resilience knows, because you can't often see it when you're in it. So speak to me if you're going, yes, but I don't even know where to start, because it's very difficult to do this on your own, because your mind and your ego will pull you back into the rabbit hole to keep you safe. So whenever you sort of feel yourself slipping into those old stories and those patterns of doubt, all those thoughts and feelings and emotions, I want you to remember, you are not the thing. You are the one that feels the thing, right? So you're feeling doubt. You are not the doubter. And even if you can't shift them straight away, all you're looking for is 1 degree. Just 1 degree into something else. Move your body. Use the yes and I'm going to do this anyway. Or go from a place of intentional creativity. Don't distract yourself in doing. Really be intentional on where you're doing, where you're wanting to move and why you're doing it. Because we all have this inner saboteur voice. And that's okay. You need to tread gently on yourself, because she's going to say mean stuff. Your inner mean girl's there to be mean, right? Because it's the only way that she knows to protect you. But it's not very honoring of you. So when you really get honest with yourself, when you get into integrity with your wise inner woman, think about it like this. If you were holding a baby in your arms, how would you speak to that baby that was doubting that it was going to be fed, or it was crying because it got startled? Or maybe you were about to take your first step, right, from crawling to stepping. How would you speak to that baby? How would you encourage that? And could you tell that inner asshole to shut up? Just stop, okay? Just give yourself a lengthening of the pause. Stay in that tension a little bit longer before you release and move. And this is why I love the mindfulness process, because it's very powerful when you know how to do this for yourself, right? When you use the peace process on a daily basis, doubt cannot exist where there is love. And if you're one that fights for the underdogs, start with not allowing yourself to be bullied, okay? Tune in for the boundaries training that I'm going to do. It'll be pretty soon, maybe on the weekend, but if you want that, type yes. I want to know about how to create safe boundaries for myself. And if you are ready to stand up in that big, beautiful body of yours, get in a round pen with a horse. You know, I'm always, that's why I love the work that I do with horses in the round pen, because if you are one that is normally used as a doormat, if you're a bully, that bully horse is going to come and be in your face and show you exactly how you're being pushed around in your life. Horses never lie. So if you want to know how to get in a round pen with me and do some equine psychotherapy, the fastest, quickest route back, if you don't have a horse, or if you can't get to a horse, if you can't come and do some chair sessions with horse with me, to really show you how to create solid boundaries, then ask me what else is possible. And even better than that, your body is your horse. So start tuning into your body. Hi, Colleen. I would love to get in a round pen with you. So let me know. I'm opening up 3 more sessions for May, end of May. And we're going to do some horse equine psychotherapy. We're going to do some equus and some join up. So I think I'm way over time, but yeah, where are you being crowded out of your own life? Is doubt being the bully horse for you? And are you ready and willing to learn to stand in your power and have strong boundaries? Because you can totally do that if you're willing to learn and stand up, rise up, and let's stop bullying. Let's stop doubt bullying you and sucking you out of your dreams and desires. Okay? So I'm going to leave it there. I think I went long today. Fill your cup up this weekend. I want you to just, maybe go back, celebrate your wins, go back and listen to day 1 to 5 again, and build into your momentum of active appreciation for control, for emotional pain, for the overwhelming stress, and all the stuff all the stories that you've created in your mind. And just take some time this weekend to allow yourself to be nurtured. Because when you're in that honoring space of appreciation for you, for your body, for the people in your life, for the people you don't want in your life, then you're no longer in that opposing force of self-deprecating self-talk from your mean girls. When you're nurturing yourself, it's so much easier and effortless to rise up into love, into light, and out of those beliefs and old stories that have been keeping you captive for your whole life probably. So that's it for today. Post your comments below, post your questions below. Let me know what's been coming up, what you are in doubt with that you maybe need some help with. Call me. There's no time like the present to shatter those doubts out so that you can rise up and expand the space of abundance and appreciation for you in your life. Okay, so let's tap into that together. And as always, I appreciate you. Thank you for being on this ride for me, counting down to my big birthday on the 28th. And I appreciate you all the way and where you are. And just know you're not alone. You are so supported. I see you, I love you, and I honor you, and I really just appreciate you. So go have a beautiful day. The sun is setting. Let me show you. There's a beautiful sun. I don't know if you can see that. The sun is setting. So as we say goodbye to the day and welcome in the evening, just have some gratitude and appreciation for yourself. And I'm gonna go in now. It's time to feed the horses. My little guy has been patiently waiting for me, and it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful life. Appreciate that as I appreciate you. Lots of love. Bye guys. Mwah.